Yeah, and welcome to another lesson. I'm Brett Papa, and today we are going to go over how to easily switch chords so you can start playing songs, doing different progressions. We're going to stick to open position chords today. So this may be more of a beginning video, but it also, even if you're intermediate, will give you some tips to think about. I'll show you. So down below, there's going to be a video that will really help you with the strumming side of things. So make sure to check that out. It's not on YouTube. It's available down below in the description box. Free video. It'll help you out. Check it out. So one of the things that we should start doing when we are trying to play guitar is find easy ways to switch chords. And one of the things you can do is not worry about having to hit chords, like a typical chord with all the notes. Like say a G chord, right? It's got 3 fingers involved in the process. C chord. In the beginning, we can take, say, a chord where we know we're going to hit all 6 strings, like an E minor chord, and a G chord, for instance. We can play the top part, right? So maybe the top 4 strings, right? The E, A, D, and G. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take an easy strum progression that I go over again in that video down below, and then I'm going to apply it to a very easy chord change. Now I want you to pay attention to what happens right here, because this finger, my first finger on the 2nd fret A string, is going to stay rooted exactly where it is, and the only thing I'm going to move is this 2nd finger, and I'm going to move it from the D string 2nd fret, right, because we're playing an E minor chord, and I'm going to move it up here, and it's going to give us part of a G chord, okay? So I'm going to take an easy strum progression, down, 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 up, down, up, down, 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 up, down, up. And I'm just going to go between those 2 chords. I'll give it 2 strum patterns on each chord. Again, pay attention. I'm just going to keep that 1 finger down and just going to move this 2nd finger, right? So here we go. Right? Total easy way to do it. And if that strum pattern's too difficult, just try down, 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 up, right? You got Okay, so that's one progression. Now what we can do is we can add a C chord to that. You're going to have to pay attention a little bit more now because the C chord doesn't hit the low E string, but we can keep that same thing kind of in our mind, right? And so what we're going to do is we're going to start with the E minor, and then our big switch is going to be right here where we're just moving a little bit, right? So what we're doing is we're taking this finger and we're actually dropping it down 1 string, and then we're taking our 2nd finger and we're moving it to the A string 3rd fret. Now, one of the things that you can do to help not hit that low E when you're playing a C chord is let the skin of this finger touch that top string, and it mutes it out. It's just a way you can work on muting. Some people use their thumb, right? But for me personally, even though I've been playing a long time, a lot of times when I try to use my thumb, I inadvertently, because I do a lot of Hendrix style playing, I inadvertently press down on the note, and I'm like, what is that horrible sound? Oh, it's me. I'm pressing down on a note I shouldn't be. So I kind of stay clear of the thumb thing, although I know a lot of people use it to mute, especially in like a D chord. They'll just lightly drape their thumb over to mute out these 2 strings. Works for some people. A lot of times I press down. So I kind of stay away from the thumb thing, but that is a very good technique a lot of people use to do it. I prefer using the skin touching the string above if it's like a C chord, right? Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take that E minor, then we're going to flip those two fingers, and then we're going to go to a G, right? So we're going to take these two fingers, keep them in that exact same shape, and then just move them up. Okay? Now check this out. This is a song, so watch this. If I do all downstrokes and do what's called palm muting, right? You're putting your palm right about where that white part is, right? The bridge or the whatever you want to call it. And you can hit the strings, and if you lightly press it on, you're going to get a little of the sound of the chord coming through. And depending on how far you push this forward determines on how much the string will be deadened, right? So check this out. A little different rhythm, the same chords, all right? I think. Sounds like it. So you could do all downstrokes, right? And just hit like 2 strings apiece. Right? I'm hitting these 2 strings, the E and the A. Then when I do that C, I'm going to hit the A and the D. And then when I go to the G, I'm going to go back to the E and the A, right? So we got... Right, you can change it up. Add a little down, up in there, or you can just make it like we did with our strum patterns, right? We can go. Okay, so that's not playing all of the strings and it's not playing the whole chord, but it's a great place to start, okay? And so if we want to go a little bit further and we know chords like A minor, check out how close A minor and C are to each other. Exact same notes except for this one finger. I move that to the 3rd fret of the A string and I have a C chord. So look at how close those are. I can leave these 2 fingers down. And so one of the things you can do while playing this A minor chord is try to let the chord keep ringing because you're only taking off 1 finger. Try to keep it ringing and get that C chord. Check this out. See how some of the strings are still ringing? Right? Instead of... Try to keep it ringing. And just move that 1 finger. Okay, now... let's play with some of the other, progressions that we've done. So we're going to go A minor, move our 3rd finger to the 3rd fret, A string, and do a C chord. Keep this finger rooted. This finger's going to stay in the same spot for 3 chords. A minor, right? D string 2nd fret, C, D string 2nd fret, and my E minor, D string 2nd fret. And now my big change is going to be, okay? And then I'm going to go back to that A minor. So we can keep that same strum pattern. Now if you notice when I switched to that D, I did a cheat move. I played the top part of the chord. And then on the second half of this strum pattern, I gave myself enough time to get my 3rd finger down on this G note, high E string, 3rd fret. So here we go. A minor, C, keep that finger down, E minor. Here's our big switch. Back to A minor. Okay, so that switch is big, right? But if you notice, our fingers can stay in that same relative shape. going to the A minor chord. They're still in that kind of position where your second finger is higher than your first finger, right? And so we're coming down, we tuck our finger underneath, right? Our third finger underneath. We got our A minor chord. Take off the one finger, got our C, keep the one finger down, go to the E minor chord. Now keep this finger down, your first finger down, and go to the G. So in every single chord, we have a finger that can stay down moving to the next chord, right? In the first two chords, the first three chords, our second finger gets to stay where it's at. And then now our first finger with these two chords gets to stay where it's at, okay? And then just apply that easy strum pattern. Okay, so now one of the chords that beginners have the hardest time with is the F chord. I'll go over that later. We're going to do a modified F chord, and we're not going to bar the first two strings. We're going to let that high E ring open. So make sure you're on your fingertips. You got good hand position. You got enough space right here. You're making that kind of C shape with your fingers, playing on the tips so this high E can ring out. But check this out. These two fingers are going to stay in the exact same position. And I'm going to start doing a simple trick that allows you to start creating melodies on the higher strings. A lot of time what you'll find in songs is they're playing chords, but they're changing their fingers around up here to give you different melodies on top of the chords. It's really cool sound. So check this out. We're going to play almost like you're doing a C chord, right? But it's an F with the E open. Okay, so the F chord's tricky because you only want to hit from the D string down. So let's do 2 rounds of our strum pattern. Down, 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 up, down, up. Again, you have first finger, B string, first fret, second finger, G string, second fret, third finger or your ring finger on the third fret of the D, okay? Now you're just gonna move these 2 fingers up a set of strings. And that's gonna get you to your C chord. And then next, we're going to keep this finger where it's at the whole time, keep this shape, and go up to the next 2 strings. And we're going to actually keep our first finger down for the first strum pattern, and then we're going to switch. Take our first finger off and add our pinky. See this, the cool sound of those 2 chords? Listen to the higher part. You hear that cool melody? It's like a cool songwriter tip. You can make really cool melodies happen with open position chords, right? You'll start to see like D sus, right? This F, I'll do that a lot. I'll take this finger off. I have a video called Spicing Up Your, chord progressions. Check that out because it goes over a lot of really easy things you can do to make your stuff sound more exciting. All that kind of stuff. So check out that video as well when you're ready for it. So, simple moves, right? Very much like our A minor chord. We got that. If you can do this one, this next one's a breeze, right? Okay, so. Now, the reason I saved this particular progression for the last one is because actually it's very easy over here, but it's starting to hold you accountable over here, right? And what I mean by that is F chord has to be from the D string down. The C chord has to be from the A string down. And this G, you get to hit everything. But you have to start working on your precision over here. Back to 4 strings, 5 strings, all 6. right? So that's another thing that you can start working on. And again, I'll go over lots of different ways to spice up your progressions and do that kind of stuff. But it's a good idea to start getting in your practicing regimen, paying attention to not hitting, strings in the bass that don't belong. Like in the C chord, you're not hitting that low E string. Or if I'm doing that F, I don't want to be hitting the A. You can, I mean, it's a cool sound, but you want to make sure that you're not just doing it because you're not paying attention, because sometimes it's not going to be a cool sound, right? So again, our progressions are going to be E minor to G. Keep that first finger rooted. Then we can do, take that one step further, and it's kind of the same progression, but we can go E minor, C, and then just move up to G. That's kind of the Smashing Pumpkins, right? Then in this one, we're going to keep our second finger rooted. We got an A minor, C, second finger still there, E minor, and now we switch. We keep our first finger. It's another progression. And then we're going to work on this hand with this progression where we're going to have a modified F chord, C, and G. Okay? So work on those. I promise, if you work on those 3 progressions, or actually kind of 4, there's thousands of songs with those chords in them, and you'll start to recognize it and be able to play songs over, being able to switch 3 or 4 chords around, 2 in the beginning, right? 3 chords, maybe 4 chords tops with a couple strum patterns. You can play thousands of songs, campfire songs, like old folk songs, to modern day pop songs with just those 4 chord progressions and those 2 strum patterns. Again, if you want to pick up the strum patterns, go to that link down below. It's all about strumming. Check out that video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Let your friends know. Share it. That would be awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to put a subscribe button over here, and I'll put some other videos over there for you to check out. In the beginning, don't stress too hard. Have fun. Music's about having fun. You can add the emotion later, but have fun in the beginning so you don't stop. It's a blast. All right, we'll catch you next time. Thank you so much for watching.